This is what?
Yeah, would you bet your life it's a globe?
Would I bet my life?
It's a globe.
I can't bet my life, man.
Alright. So there is some doubt.
Nah, I just live my life.
Oh, okay. But you still believe the Earth is a globe, huh?
I don't know, bro.
No, you want to know. You want to know the truth, man. You want to know the truth.
Hey, Hala. Hala, watch.
How dare you? Oh yeah, another good day. Got those kids back though. Gotta start getting them to question stuff. I gotta get some business cards made up with a QR code for the YouTube channel, like I had before.
For the music channel?
No, for the YouTube. For the YouTube channel. So I can try to get over 1,000 subs and go live. I think I got 400 something. On YouTube, I need 1,000 subscribers to go live. So if I can get some business cards done for the channel, then I think that could help get some advertisement.
So 1,000 and you can live.
Yeah. Oh, you dropped your phone. Where when I first signed up, you just needed 100 subscribers. Yeah. So they were really encouraging people to, start using it and become a presence. And now they're like, oh, we don't want those people on here, so we're gonna ruin it for everybody.
Right.
Literally because of flat Earth. Literally because of flat Earth is why they did it. So freaking clowns, dude. Yeah, dude. Oh yeah?
That old one was like decades.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, they did. They already burned it.
Alright. Yeah, work tomorrow?
Yeah, I work at 9:30, so
Yeah.
I'll probably be out at like 6 or so. See how early I can get out. Because then I work
Fridays are probably the busier days. Friday, Saturday.
No, actually, it's not like a typical restaurant. We close at 8. So, and I'm just doing prep. I don't work the line.
Yeah.
Well, I do work the line. Actually, I do. Yeah, I
What
work.
do they have you cooking?
Pretty much everything but like pasta. So I do everything but pasta and prep.
Okay.
And so as quite the opposite of what I was saying with that guy.
You want to learn a little bit about
You want to learn the truth? Yeah.
the question? No, just break it down for us.
Okay. Well, let's just clarify. I believe the same thing that you believe.
Okay.
Earth is a globe, outer space. I had this on my computer screen as my screensaver. I thought I was looking at Earth from space, like God, type of deal. And then in 2015, I was introduced to this idea that Earth is like this. It's a contained environment. It's more of like a terrarium in a controlled environment instead of a globe floating in outer space, wandering through the randomness of the galaxy. So instead of that, it's flat and stationary, not moving, whereas the opposite, they teach us, it's flying through outer space, spinning, and it's going wherever, right? And you're just a little blue speck, and there could be other, you know, things like planets and other civilizations and stuff like that that could be out there. But what I feel is more realistic is something like that. And so this was done about 1,000 years ago, and the concept is that here's Earth and this is outer space. Does that make sense? So if we're together and we're trying to deceive the masses, that's outer space. That's what we teach them. But this is outer space. It's just more land and resources that they're keeping from us, because you don't deserve to have it, because we were here first. And so they teach us the opposite in school, because they don't want to give everybody the same knowledge, because if everybody has the same information, then the children are running the household. You know, that's why they...
These are planets, you're saying?
No, this is land.
So what is this imposing?
Well, it's just like the parallels and the various ways that they can use circumnavigation. Because, I mean, it just makes... It's easier to travel when you have, you know, certain dimensions and stuff, and it just makes it easier for, you know, travel and stuff. But basically the concept is that this is... Have you ever seen The Truman Show before with Jim Carrey? Yeah, it's exactly like that. You know, you're in a controlled environment, you're given information, you're given your entertainment, you don't have to do anything. Hey, guess what? You don't have to do anything, right? You're just taught everything, you're given the truth.
What is the edge then?
Well, there is no edge.
I mean, for Terrarium, shouldn't there be like a...
Well, there could be. So, with that being said, let me also clarify like my particular concept of flat Earth. I think it goes on infinitely like this table. And so this is just the realm in which we live called Earth, and that's why they keep us contained in this. I've never seen Antarctica. Like, a lot of flat earthers would say that this is Antarctica and this is holding all the water in, and this is it. But for me, I feel like our Creator is an infinite being, so I have the capabilities of being infinite, which means that the land is also infinite. And so given the type of spiritual advancements that, you know, we may have gone through in the past, they realize that, whoa, this is too much. We need to contain everybody here. And so now they know everything is out here, but they keep us in bondage here, and why would you want to go out here anyways? They don't have Starbucks or cell phone service. So they
what
just...
about the other planets then?
So, well, whether they're round or flat or whatever, let's be honest, we're not going to them. Right?
Sure, yeah.
So we can have the imagination of like outer space and all these different things, you know, like this. How did I become indoctrinated? Well, through schooling, through movies, through television, through propaganda. And then you're just born into it and you just go with the flow, right? That's what I did up until 2015. I just believed what everybody else believed because it's easier. It's easier to just believe than to research and go and put the effort in and to find out the siftings through reality and the truth underlying all the lies. It takes effort.
You're saying that's not flat Earth?
No, it's not at all. So if ever anybody tells you and makes fun of it, you'll see memes like this. This is still showing outer space is real. Outer space isn't real.
Okay.
It's a hoax. It's not a disk floating in outer space.
That terrarium.
Yeah. So for me, what I've come to some conclusions about is pressure, right? When you open up a pop can, there's pressure, right? Because there's different air pressure inside the can than outside. And the only thing that's separating the two is the aluminum, right? For example, plastic. So with that being said, how is it that you can go to outer space when it has a different pressure system, which is at a negative, right? And then we live in a 14.6 psi at sea level, and we can breathe, right? We have a constant air pressure all the time. The only way that's possible is to have a sealed container. Because if you buy a birthday balloon for somebody, about 2 weeks later it's going to be on the floor. Because what's happening is the air on the outside and on the inside is creating equilibrium, and it's the air on the inside, the helium, is seeping out the pores of the balloon. Because the balloon isn't sealed all the way. It has different, you can't see them, right? But the helium is so thin that it's just seeping out the pores and it's going to fall to the ground. Now, for example, we're using this thought experiment. If the Earth were a globe and it had this type of container that they claim that you can just venture out, that's impossible then. Because you can't have two pressure systems next to each other without a solid barrier, because if you open it, well, then all the air is going to rush in and create equilibrium at whichever has the lowest pressure or highest pressure, right? So is that fair enough to kind of use that as a thought experiment? So I'm not trying to convince you per se, but I'm just trying to use like examples of why they would tell us outer space. But then let's think about it. You have to go through a solid barrier to get out there, because the pressure system is different. And so for me, like, I get like all this is probably a lot to talk about, but the most important thing that I observe for this is, have you ever seen a sunset on the ocean and you see the ray of sun come all the way up to your feet as it's traveling further away from you? So that ray of sunshine comes up to my feet, her feet, his feet, individually. I can't step on your sunshine or anything like that. And the only way that sun is able to come up to your feet over the water is because the water is flat. It's contained. It doesn't have a bulge like they tell us the globe does. It has curvature to it. If you shine a light on a curved surface, it's going to reflect differently. I think I got a meme here somewhere that kind of shows you that example. Okay, and I'm not assuming that you're spiritual or anything like that, but if you were to look at this example biblically, this is the sun walking on water. So the metaphor of this is the sun walking on water, and the only way that I can do that is on a flat surface. And so if you try it with a curved surface, the sun and the light are going to reflect in different ways. Just like a funhouse mirror, you know, like it bounces differently because a mirror is supposed to be flat and smooth. Otherwise it doesn't operate the same. And so, but I mean, and everything about outer space is a cartoon. They give us different images of Earth from space, but all of the continents are different sizes. They constantly look differently. If you Google image Earth from space, you don't ever get a consistent image. If you Google satellites in space, and who's taking a picture of the satellite? Did they send another satellite out there to take a picture of the satellite? I think that's not very cost efficient. And then when you see a satellite, a real satellite, this is what it looks like. But where is it at? It's on the ground. And what happens is this gets connected to a high altitude balloon, and it goes up to 60 to 80,000 feet, and then that's where you get your various communications. But there's no satellites in outer space. It's not like a beehive. It's not like bees on a beehive like floating around us or anything like that. It's very simple. It's very simple to understand, but because of the indoctrination that we get growing up, we believe Santa Claus, we believe the Easter Bunny, we believe in the Tooth Fairy. So it's very easy, and children are very malleable. You can get them to believe anything. But as you grow up, you just go along with everybody else, and you're like, hey, you believe this? Yeah, I believe that. And if I don't, guess what? You're not going to want to be friends with me anymore, because I think differently than you. I look differently than you, right? So as long as we can all get along and believe the same thing, we're cool, right? But once you start talking about this F word, this is the thing that triggers everybody, because this is the largest religion on earth. It doesn't matter if you're Muslim, Jew, Christian, atheist, whatever. Everybody believes that you live here, even though you can't verify it. So appreciate you guys stopping. Maybe we'll see you around in the future. What's up, fellas?
Hey, well.
Hey.